Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore, and today, it's in the morning, today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. So, our card today, I keep wanting to say at night because I usually film at night, is the Six of Cups. Okay, and let's go ahead and see what these tea leaves have to say today. My goodness. All right, let's see. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So I feel like there's a sense of reunion here. And I say that because I see a person here and I see a person here. And it looks like they're on two different peaks of maybe like a mountain range. Okay. We also have a horse above head and it looks like it's being pulled by somebody. So I get the impression that there is a mending of some relationship in your life. I don't think it's just like you lost touch with each other. Time and space kind of, became more and more expansive and you haven't seen each other. I think that there has been a reason for this separation. Something happened at some point, right? And it feels like probably ancient history. This doesn't feel like a fresh thing. But I do feel like with this person kind of leading the horse, that there is a sense of, okay, we got to get things kind of moving in life. There are these old stagnant energies, especially in the emotional and spiritual sector. And I feel that these are things that, kind of need to be worked out. There's something, and not that you're going to be great, close friends or family members again. But I do feel like there is a sense of lament. And I feel that maybe you really wish that things hadn't ended in that way, right? So I feel like there is this room here in your heart, in your mind, where it's like, okay, well, this time has passed. All this other stuff has happened in between. And now maybe this is a good time to kind of take the temperature of the situation and see if we can maybe come to some kind of, place of ease. It doesn't have to be, again, that you're all super close once more. But I do think that there's just a sense of wanting things to be settled. Okay, and that makes sense to me. Nobody wants to live at odds with anybody, right? That's such a, it sucks. It's a sucky feeling. So I do. And I see this kind of coming together, kind of bridging this gap of discord or I don't even know that maybe at one point, right, there was kind of a chaotic, energetic feeling between the two of you. But I think, again, this is like such old history. So much has come to pass since then. And so I feel, I can feel you kind of, yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. We're going to, we're going to figure this out. We're going to let it go, right? And so let's see, we have a person, we have two people standing here. One here, one's pointing towards the sky. We have a bird up here. So I feel like there is a real sense of looking for a sign, a message. This is your sign. This is your message, right? This is a good time to kind of, I think, do this work that you have been looking to do some of this clearing out, letting go of these old feelings that just, you know, I don't think that there is intense or anything like that, but it's just like, sometimes we have to just approach the things so that we can see that it's like bigger in our mind than we realize, you know. It doesn't, in the physical world, it doesn't hold the place that it does in our mind. And you know, I'm a Virgo, so I'm a warrior, right? So everything seems so much bigger and you know, more complex and involved than it might be. And you know, since we are kin in that way, since we're both Virgos, you know, maybe you feel kind of the same. Now, that doesn't mean we always, we're not always warring. Sometimes it's just like, you know, I don't know. I get pretty hot about things, a little angry maybe, a little posturing in my own mind. So, you know, that it's not that it's always a worry thing, but I do think that, you know, at the end of the day, it feels better to resolve this old stuff where we can. Okay. All right, let's take a look. What else do we have? So I keep seeing that they're over here. It's Limb. So limb, arms, legs, something like this. I have to think, you know, hopefully not some kind of injury, but I almost kind of feel like it's not you, but it could be. I don't know. Maybe you like sprained your ankle recently or, you know, something like this. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Now I'm scared I'm gonna go twist my ankle today. I don't have time for that, so I'm filming in the morning. Got lots to do. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I almost have like two people. They look like they're kind of walking this way, but they're almost kind of, I don't know, like slinking around, you know, like almost like they're sneaking somewhere. And then we have a person right here next to the Ace of Cups. We have a person up here kind of sitting and looking up at the cup. So I feel like there's almost kind of this, it's just this, it feels like something coming in emotionally, but it's an attraction too. It definitely has that wand energy as well. But it feels like, it feels like a Saturnine person because I'm seeing the H and the, where did it go? Right here. Another one up here. So I'm almost wondering if this is like a Capricorn. It feels like a Capricorn person. I'm also seeing that we have a little goat over here. And so I almost feel like, yeah, there's like a sense of kind of like a growing emotional attachment. I almost wonder if this is I keep thinking, is this like a baby that's been born? Or a young child within maybe your family that you're just meeting for the first time. But it feels like, or maybe it's an animal. I kind of almost like, is this like a little cat that showed up at your house? Or, and I can feel that it's like a feeling of sneaking in and stealing your heart kind of thing. But I don't feel like this is romantic. It could be, right? It could definitely be. But I feel like this is more along the lines of like an animal companion kind of showing up in your world, or like a child, maybe your auntie or uncle or, whatever. And you're meeting for the first time, and it just, I feel like it's this, all of a sudden it snuck up and it just absolutely, and that's what happens when we fall in love with our, with the children in our life, with the little baby animals, or, if you're like me, I always kind of end up with a little bit older animals. I haven't had kittens in a long, long time. So, they show up and you just fall in love. It just, you can't help it. They sneak in, they take over. And it's like, there's no other way around it, right? So we have 117. So 117. 117. We also have a dandelion right here. Lots of dandelions out recently. Always so happy to see those returning. Now we have, it looks like a rabbit, okay? Kind of, it's seated though, kind of laying down. It reminds me of the rabbits in my yard, or at least the last place that I lived. We had quite a few families of rabbits that would come through. And on the hot days, they would go into the, underneath the trees. Had a bunch of ash trees out there, and they're perfect shade, little shady spots. And where it would dip down into the grass a little bit, they could kind of hide in the little bowl. They would get down there and they'd lay on their tummies and they'd stick their little feet out, and they were so cute. And so I do. I feel like this is a place where I can see you, Virgo. Maybe finding a little bit of rest, a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of pleasure. It does feel like a really good time to be recharging. It's been busy, and it's going to be so much busier going into the summer. We're going into the summer or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. But these are busy times, especially for Virgos. We just stay so busy during these warmer months or even the cooler months. In the in-between, I feel like spring, like fall, there's a lot to do. Well, at least in my life, domestically, right? Get a lot of things ready for these big seasons. And then we get into summer, we get into winter, and it's like non-stop events happening, things going on. Staying busy with family and all the different activities and trying to carve out a little time to enjoy, some me time, whatever that is, I forget. But yes, I do feel like in this, kind of ramping up towards the next season, you'll have this little period of time where it's like, yeah, let's recharge. And with that rabbit imagery, it's all about fertility, about those fiery kind of sexual creative energies. Now, when I say sexual, it doesn't necessarily mean, amorous or, whatever kind, the physical act of copulation. That's not exactly what I mean, but it could be, right? But the fire element is a creative element, is the thing that brings life to all things. And so this sexual creative energy is definitely, that thing that kind of flows through all things, that animates the lower sphere, the Malthusian drudgery, right? And so, yes, this is a time of, I think, a lot of motivation, a lot of calling to bringing some of that psychic, how should I say, those psychic concepts and swirling creative energies kind of just, always going so quickly in us Virgo's minds, but bringing that stuff over and manifesting it into our world, into our waking life. So the things that you are working on, the things that you're maybe taking an afternoon for yourself, you're hanging out on the porch and you're drinking a nice tea or lemonade or whatever you got there, kind of going over in your mind the tasks of the next, month or two, and kind of thinking to yourself, this is something that I'd like to do. This is something, I've been dreaming about. This is something I feel just there's a pull towards whatever it is. This is going to be the time where you're kind of gathering the energies and in this next cycle beginning to manifest whatever it is that you are envisioning. For me, it is the garden. That's my big dream, my big passion right now, is getting my house together as we just moved. A lot of you know that. And we're in a new, and I say we because shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My husband, Paul, over there is amazing. Go check out his tarot readings. Tell him I sent you. And anyways, we're getting the house in order, and my next big dream, and it's such a privilege and a pleasure for myself to be able to get out there and plant and get in the dirt and just get absolutely messy with it. And so, yeah, I could see you kind of, in the same mode. We're just, this is a fun time. I really like this stage of, thinking about doing the thing, making the list, getting everything prepared. We're good at that, aren't we? Okay, let's see. We have a 17. Ooh, we have a little pansy flower here. I love pansies of all variety. So we have 17. We have another 7. And it looks like, I just feel like there's just good news coming. And I feel like this maybe is going to be something like a raise or a new position. I feel like something that you have been, I don't even feel you've been working. I mean, well, you've been working for it, but you haven't been working towards this. I think this is going to be something that's surprising to you, where all of a sudden, you're being approached for some kind of like management position or, maybe being like cross-trained into another department, but you like absolutely are so stoked about it. This is something that you had thought about, you know, before, but it's like, I don't know if would happen or, you know, whatever. And I can see like this kind of opportunity showing itself to you. And we have a hummingbird too. Interesting. So the flowers and the bird, and there's a busyness. So I feel like this is like the calm before the storm, because there's just going to be this kind of gathering of things happening, and it really is up to you. Like what can you do? What do you have time to do? What is actually of interest to you? And I think it's important to be honest and discerning with yourself. We are really good as Virgos at taking on so many things, saying yes to too many things. We're also really good at time management, but when your day is packed from, you know, morning, the moment you wake up until the moment you know, go to bed, and you're going to bed late because you've actually, you've taken on too many things. It's just elongating the day. You know, we have to be realistic about, okay, I want to say yes to quite a few things, but some things we're going to have to say no to. Okay, so let's get in the practice of saying no, right? You don't want to do it, or it's not something that you see is going to fit into your life, or your life in cooperation with your well-being. Then we have to say no. We have to practice no. You know, can't do it. Wish I could. I don't have time. And that's hard. It's a hard thing to, you know, we want to do everything, take care of everybody, you know, be involved in whatever is brought to us, but it's just not possible. It's not possible. We get burnt out, don't we? All right, so let's go ahead and look at our Wild Bohemian affirmation cards, and these are the fire element. Okay, and I'm gonna flip through and stop where it feels right. Red, red, red. It says, I am soulful. You have the heart strength to give love freely. You are wise to be lighthearted. You are wise to be lighthearted. Are we ever lighthearted, Virgo? Are we? I don't know. I wish that I at times I feel like, okay, maybe this is what being lighthearted is. And it's just, I don't know. I wish I could be more often. But even when it is when I'm feeling like an ease through things, I'm not taking things so seriously, you know, I'm enjoying the moment. Then I get in my head and I'm like, oh, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And it's just like, just enjoy it, Lenore, enjoy it. So yeah, maybe it is something. Maybe that's a Virgo thing. I have said before, my sister, my older sister, she is also a Virgo. She's a September Virgo. I am an August Virgo. And I think, you know, there are some differences. And I know that it's something that's talked about a lot by Virgos. But I feel like she's probably the same way. We're not like frivolous people. Everything is so meaningful, you know, or it must be, or it's just hard to get into, right? So yes, to be lighthearted, to enjoy, to kind of frolic around in life, sounds amazing. Maybe that's a good goal to kind of work towards, I guess. All right, Virgo, I love you and I thank you and I appreciate the time that we spend together. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And what else? If you would like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean the world to me. And yeah, I don't know. What else? I just, I like to have these questions for those of you who kind of make it to the end. And right now my mind is so on gardening. And I know I've asked before, but what are you growing? Oh, and I have been asking for any kind of whatever your allergy remedies are. I talked about this in a few of my readings, but as I've gotten older, and I think it really started when I had my daughter 4 years ago, and maybe even when I was pregnant, but I started having seasonal allergies like I had never had before. And, now I have them, not terribly, but I have had to take some medicine for them. And, I know some people really, really suffer, but, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying different things that are being recommended to me through the channel. I'd like to just implement something long-term to kind of get my immune system, working, primed. So I know I'm doing the local honey and everything. So that's the big one. And yeah, so if you have any ideas about allergies, if you suffer with them, give me all of your recommendations. I have an ongoing list of things that I'm trying one thing after another just to see what kind of is realistic for me. Some of the ones I will try them, but if it's something that tastes really bad or it's something that's hard to obtain where I live, a kind of herb or root or whatever, then it's not really ideal, of course. So, but yeah, I'm trying everything. I'm seeing what works. And yeah, and so I'm asking around and seeing where we get with that. All right, Virgo, I'm done taking up your time, and I thank you so much, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you. Enjoy your week coming up here, and we'll talk in just a few days. All right, bye-bye.